a nice day today.
Here's Sir Agrippo, he's home. 2 Grand Nationals for this mighty race horse. Shouting, they're both very tired. Father shouting a neck in front, Valiant Bevel won't get him. And the New Zealander's going to win the Grand National. Father
The Grand National is the pinnacle of the most spectacular facet of horse racing, jumping. Some of the most exciting and sentimental stories in the sport come from hurdlers and steeplechasers. Some are too slow on the flat and are left with 2 options, the knackery or jumping, and horses love to jump. Another chapter will be written into the record books with today's Grand National steeplechase. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Channel 10's live coverage of the Grand National Steeplechase. It's the Melbourne Cup over jumps. 11 horses in this year's race, a true test for both the horse and the rider. 5,000 metres, 28 fences. Conditions at Flemington are overcast, but quite good, and the track condition is dead. As we have a look at the totes for the Grand National. Father Shouting, last year's winner, is at $5.65. Palamine, $6.85. Derry Donald is scratched. Trainery, $7.45, Commission Red, $2.35, Waldara, $4.95, Andella, $5.45. McMurphy's the favourite at $1.80, King Dollar, the grey, $14.05. Number 10, Tacklow Band, $5.05, $4.20 for Vim, and Oakley Jacket, $27.20, nearly $100,000 in the win pool. As you can see by the totes, it's quite an open race. The runners are in the mounting yard, and now it's time to introduce Mr. Peter Donegan. Good afternoon, Pete.
Thank you, Dan, and good afternoon, everyone. Well, a few spots of light rain falling here before the start of the dominant Grand National steeplechase, and we're about to take a look at the runners as the boys are on their backs and heading out to the start now. And it's a pleasure to introduce a gentleman who became a very familiar face during the Melbourne Cup Carnival, John Rothfield, alias Dr. Turf. Welcome, Docky.
Thanks, Pete. Nice to be back.
Not a great day, but we've got a great race in front of us here.
It's beautiful out here, Pete. They just put the banana lounges away and ready to tip some winners now, aren't we?
Well, I hope so, and let's take a look now at the runners as they go towards the start in the mounting yard here for the running of the dominant Grand National steeplechase. 28 fences, 5,000 metres, and there is last year's winner, Father Shouting, with Brett McDonald in the saddle to lead them out. This horse finished 7th behind Caledonian Concord last week and was obviously badly in need of the run. He hasn't won since last year, but he showed on that day 12 months ago that 5,000 metres and 28 fences hold very few fears for Father Shouting, and he's certain to be a chance. Number 2, Palamine, Docky.
Palamine, Pete, he came over from New Zealand with quite good form. He did nick himself last week, and I think he caught it himself. He, to me, doesn't seem to be going too well at the moment, but well, he may be able to improve, but he's going to have to improve sharply on his last couple of efforts.
What about number 4, Trainery, with Brian Constable in the saddle?
He does go very well here, Trainery, and Brian Constable, one of our better jumps jockeys. The trip's a big query with him, Pete. He ran 5th in it last year. That's his worry again this year.
Number 5 is Commission Red, and this horse is aiming for a treble of big jumping races. Won the Great Eastern Steeplechase at Oakbank, the Grand Annual at Warrnambool, but unfortunately he's had 8 starts here at Flemington and has never run a place. But Laurie Poltridge is certainly fruit in season at the moment. Commission Red shouldn't have too many worries with the distance. He's the tote favourite at $2.35, and he's going to take plenty of beating.
Number 6, Waldara, Pete. Well, the Australian steeple winner at Sandown, it was his first win in 6 years. I think you've got a better strike rate than that. He'll be plodding along at the end of the race, Pete, and I'd say he'd have some rough hope.
Number 7 is Andallo with Billy Londrigan aboard, and this horse led up in the race won by Caledonian Concord last week, and it was only at the last jump that Caledonian Concord got the better of him. That event was over 3,900 metres, and he goes up in 1,100 metres here in distance today. But on that performance, he's a pretty safe jumper, and Andallo with the Greg Mance colours should take a hand in the finish here.
I think so too. Number 8 is McMurphy, now in the stables of Kelvin Burke down at Colac. Kelvin won, what, 3 nationals as a jockey?
He did, yeah.
He's a promising type, this bloke McMurphy. Made a sharp run down the back last week, then just battled in the straight, but he's going to be much fitter for the run. got Jamie Evans on board, and he's a very, very good jumps jockey, Jamie Evans, and he's going to be very hard to beat McMurphy for mine. In fact, I think he's favourite out in the ring, Pete.
You won't have any problems picking up King Dollar throughout the race, the grey, with Daryl Cannon aboard. And the grey horse will make his way to the stalls very shortly, King Dollar. He finished 10th of 14 behind Caledonian Concord, and there he is at his last appearance. Grey, red sash and cap, carried by a pretty good steeplechaser going back a few years ago called Lot, who used to drop out a long way in his races. I don't think King Dollar will drop out that far today, but I think he'd need to improve to take a hand in the finish.
I think so. Number 10, Tacloban. Well, he bungled one very badly out the back last week. Willie Harnett was very lucky not to get a mouthful of mud there, but he picked himself up, ran home very well, Tacloban, and he'll definitely get the trip. And I think he's got another rough little hope there, Tacloban.
Johnny, another one who gets the trip is number 11, Vim. He keeps on whacking away, this horse. He finished second at Hamilton in a steeplechase at his last start. He was beaten 15 lengths by Lord of Oakbank, but the 5,000 metres is going to suit him. As you can see, he's right in the betting there at $4.50 after opening up at $3.90. But he'll just keep on going towards the end of the 5,000 metres, and when the others are getting tired, don't be surprised to see Vim running on.
Yeah, I agree. And number 12, Oakley Jack, well, hasn't returned prize money in 31 starts, and I don't think he's going to be getting his photo taken today, Pete.
Johnny, what about a tip as they go to the stalls?
Well, I like the favourite McMurphy, Pete. In a very even field this year. He might just be a little bit too strong on the limit weight of 60 kilos.
Well, I've gone for Commission Red number 5 to beat number 1, Bar the Shouting, but it's a very tough race, and they've got 5,000 metres and 28 fences in front of them. As Dan said, it's the Melbourne Cup of jumps racing, the Grand National Steeplechase. Dan, they're on their way to the barrier.
Thanks very much, Pete. It's perhaps not the best field that we've seen after having last week's Grand National Hurdle, but the sight over 5,000 metres and so many fences is just going to be fantastic. The National is the National. It is the Melbourne Cup over jumps, and now it's time for a little bit of history, nostalgia perhaps. The 1973 Grand National, but it wasn't in Australia, and we have a look at the champion Crisp in the Aintree Grand National.
Of Red Rum, who's just jumping it a long way back in third. Our Spanish Steps and Hurricane Rock and Rouge Autumn, and then Lescargo, but coming to the final fence in the National now, and it's Crisp still going in great style with 12 stories back. He jumps it well. Red Rum is about 15 lengths behind him as he jumps it, and Dick Pittman coming to the elbow now in the National. He's got 250 yards to run, and Crisp just wandering a little off a true line now. He's beginning to lose concentration. He's been out there on his own for so long, and Red Rum is making ground on him still as they come to the line. It's a furlong to run now. 200 yards now for Crisp, and Red Rum still closing on him, but Crisp is getting very tired, and Red Rum is pounding after him. Red Rum is the one that's finishing the strongest. He's going to get up. Red Rum is going to win the National, and at the line, Red Rum has just snatched it from Crisp, and Red Rum is the winner, and Crisp is...
Truly one of the most amazing races that I've certainly ever seen, both on the flat and over the jumps. The National here at Flemington, Bar the Shouting is at $5.45 last year's winner. Palamine at $6.70. Two of the Kiwis head the weights. Trainery at $7.70. Commission Red $2.35, going for the big treble, which has never been completed before. The Great Eastern Grand Annual and Grand National. Waldara $5.15, Andella $4.35, carrying the colours made famous by Cole Diesel in last year's Caulfield Cup. McMurphy is at $1.85, and he is the favourite, another Kiwi. King Dollar $15.30, as Peter says, you won't miss him in the run. He's the only grey in the field. In fact, he's almost white. Vim $4.50, Tacloban above him $5.05. I thought he was a good each-way chance. And Oakley Jack $30.40. He gets his chance for fame today from 31 starts, has never earned prize money. And a late riding change in this race. Stephen Jenkins takes the ride on number 11, Vim. Stephen Jenkins riding number 11, Vim. Paul Goss had a fall in the hurdle earlier on a Kiwi by the name of Look At Me, and couldn't take the ride in the National, so Steve Jenkins aboard number 11, Vim. They're the runners milling around behind the starting point for this most important jumps race. 28 fences to get over, a lot of fences. The horses have got to concentrate for a long time. The record for this distance is 5 minutes 48. They won't get near that today, but they'll be probably just under 6 minutes, which is a long time to be racing and concentrating and jumping. The favourite, McMurphy, just ahead of Commission Red, and the third pick in the event would probably be number 7, which is Andella, which has shortened up quite considerably. Greg Mance wasn't going to run the 5-year-old because of his inexperience. He's only a first-season steeplechaser, but the field has fallen away so much, he's going to give him a try. He's the youngest horse in the field, a 5-year-old. and his run in the crisp was very good last week. Ran out of condition a little bit, but with a slower tempo, he'll obviously be a danger with the absence of Caledonian Concord, and of course Derry Donald not running. The horse was sore yesterday, and they didn't want to risk breaking him down last year's or 2 years ago, winner of the Grand National Steeplechase. The runners are moving in. They'll jump 3 fences in the lane the first time round, but once they go past that winning post, they'll still have 2 laps to go. An extraordinary test for both the horse and the rider. Commission Red going in, only a couple out. Vim is set, Oakley Jack goes into the line. Tacloban is the only horse away from the gates. Big run in the crisp last week, bar the shoutings out as well. Big run in the crisp last week. Tacloban nearly fell at the 1800, picked himself up, and was a terrific effort to finish 5th. His run in the Australian steeple was just as good. Now, bar the shouting about to go in, last year's winner. Tacloban will be the last one to link up. The 1990 Grand National Steeplechase. Lights on and they're racing. Wildara stood there and missed it perhaps a length and a half, and Andella shot straight to the front as they go to the first of 28. Up and over it in front of Vim, bar the shouting, and Tacloban out deep, and then came Palamine. Followed by Commission Red as they come down to the second one. Trainery getting back with Wildara, then McMurphy, Oakley Jack, and last of all was the Grey King Dollar. At the third of 28 fences, and Tacloban moves up on the outside, put in an almighty lead to lead out of the straight. So it's Tacloban in front of Andella, and they're out by 5 to last year's winner, bar the shouting, about 4 to Vim and Palamine. Already a gap of about 10 lengths then to the 6th horse, Trainery. Then Wildara, Commission Red, McMurphy, Oakley Jack, and King Dollar. At the jump of the 2,000 metre point on the first lap, and Tacloban got into it, and Palamine's come to grief. Palamine's fallen over, but the horse has got up and seems to be okay. And Andella at the next to the double gets over it by a length and a half now. In second placing was Tacloban, about 2 lengths away, bar the shouting. 6 to Vim, 4th, 4 away Trainery and Wildara, 5 away Commission Red. Then came McMurphy, King Dollar, and Oakley Jack was back at the tail of the field, and already he must be about 20 lengths off the lead. Coming to the next fence, Andella gets over it a length and a half in front of Tacloban's second. They're about 5 in front of bar the shouting, staying close to the leaders. 8 away Vim, 4th, 1.5 lengths back to Trainery and Wildara. They were followed by McMurphy, Commission Red, King Dollar, and last of all was Oakley Jack. Onto the steeplechase course they go to jump the treble, and Andella led by 4 lengths. Tacloban second, about 5 away was bar the shouting at the first of the treble. The leaders get over it well. Vim 4th, and then Trainery, Wildara, McMurphy, Commission Red, King Dollar, and Oakley Jack was out at the tail of the field. There's about 20 lengths between first from last, and Andella in front leads by still a length and a half to Tacloban, and about 6 lengths away third was bar the shouting. They're going at an even bat. 4th was Trainery, and then Vim about 3 to Wildara, a length and a half to McMurphy, given time to settle down, and then King Dollar, Oakley Jack, and back at the tail of the field was Commission Red as they go over the jump at about the 900 metres point on the first lap. And Andella in front, still by a length, and Tacloban's putting the pressure on. About 3 lengths away, bar the shouting, 2 to Trainery, and then Vim, Wildara, 1.5 to McMurphy, and then came Oakley Jack, King Dollar, and 5 lengths away Commission Red. About to come onto the steeplechase track again, and they will jump 5 fences down the straight, and once they do, they'll have a lap left to go in the Grand National Steeple of 1990. Andella in front of Tacloban, led by a length. In third placing, Wildara, the favourite's gone. McMurphy's fallen at the first of 5 down the straight, the favourite out of the National. Andella at the second, just led from last year's winner, bar the shouting. A length and a half to Tacloban. Wildara staying in good touch with the leaders. About 2.5 to Trainery, and then Vim, followed in behind them by Oakley Jack. 5 to King Dollar, and about 3 lengths away, last of all, Commission Red. At the 4th fence down the straight, Andella's jumping pretty well, and he leads by 3 lengths. Bar the shouting second, Tacloban third. Oakley Jack going up in a hurry with Trainery, and Wildara's on the inside. Oh, Vim's gone. Vim crashed to the next one down the straight, got up, and he's okay. King Dollar's second last, and Commission Red last of all. So as they go towards the Maribyrnong side of the track for the final time in the Grand National Steeple, and the leader is Andella. He's by a length and a half in front of Trainery, and bar the shouting's third, the inside, then Oakley Jack, Wildara, Tacloban. 15 to King Dollar, and 5 lengths away Commission Red going slowly. At the next fence of the 1800, And Andella led by 2.5 lengths, and he's doing it well. Second, Bar the Shouting. Third was Trainery. Fourth, Wildara. 1.5 lengths to Tacloban, and about 4 lengths away than a Oakley Jack, who nearly fell. He has gone. Oakley Jack's fallen over. King Dollar's back second last. Oakley Jack got up and he seems to be okay. King Dollar's second last, and Commission Red at the rear. 1,400 metres left to travel, and the leader is still Andella, going all right. By 3 lengths to last year's winner, Bar the Shouting. About 4 lengths away, Trainery. On its inside, Tacloban, Wonder Wildara, 20 lengths to King Dollar and Commission Red. And to be honest, they couldn't win unless the others fell over. They have about 1,300 metres to go. Still Andella. Led by a length to the first of the treble, Bar the Shouting second. 3 to Tacloban battling on, and then Trainery about 8 lengths away, Wildara. At the next leg of the treble, and Andella's got over it all right. He's going strongly. At the final leg of the treble, up and over by 3. Bar the Shouting second, 3 to Tacloban, 4 to Trainery, 8 to Wildara, and 25 lengths away, Commission Red, and back at the tail of the field was King Dollar. They have 1,000 metres to go on the Grand National Steeple, and Andella still by a length and a half. Bar the Shouting breathing down his neck. 4 away, Trainery not done with. Tacloban flat and about 30 lengths away than a Wildara, approaching the 800 metres point. Andella still a length in front of Trainery and Bar the Shouting, and about 8 lengths away, Tacloban, 30 to Wildara, Commission Red, and last of all, King Dollar. They come up the jump, the second last one in the Grand National Steeple. Andella's gone. The leader's fallen over at the second last. He got too tired. On the turn, Trainery and Bar the Shouting. They're out by 8 lengths. Tacloban third, 10 to Commission Red running on, and then Wildara, King Dollar. They come down to jump the last one. This will be the decider. Trainery, Bar the Shouting at the last of 28. Trainery's up and over. A length and a half in front of Bar the Shouting. 25 lengths away, Tacloban and Commission Red running into the money. Trainery, those drawn away. He looks to have the Grand National Steeple won. He's 5 or 6 in front. Come back to form on the right day. And Trainery is going to win a sensational Grand National Steeple. He goes on to score by 8 lengths. Trainery first, Bar the Shouting second, 15 lengths away, Commission Red running on for third. Then Tacloban, a long break, then a King Dollar and a tired Wildara. And we lost quite a few of them along the way. Palamine, Vim, Oakley Jack, Mac Murphy and Andella fell at the second last, and he was going all so well. And unfortunately, Andella's the only one of the fallen horses who doesn't look to be too good at all, unfortunately. Trainery the winner, 7.80 and 2.05. Bar the Shouting $1.70, and Commission Red $1.10, and they are the approximate dividends in a sensational, dominant Grand National Steeplechase. And Trainery's form really had been very, very ordinary of late. He's been one of the best steeplechasers around in the last couple of years, but this season he just wasn't going well until today, and he's come right on the best day of all to give jockey Brian Constable his second Grand National Steeple winner. He won on Canna High a few years ago. Here's the last one. Bar the Shouting was tired. Its trainer, Davina Waddell, had said the horse was probably just 1 run short, and I think it told in the last 500 or 600 metres. And Trainery has really run out the 5,000 metres today. He drew away from Bar the Shouting in the last furlong and made it look quite easily to win by about 6 or 8 lengths near the post. In fact, probably more than that, closer to 10. And Commission Red has a run on. He was a long way behind the leaders with about 2,000 metres to go. And as a couple of them fell by the wayside, he kept making up ground and was running on strongly in the straight, a long, long way from the winner, but its effort has been very good. And there's the winner. Trainery had won just under $100,000 in prize money before today. It has won the biggest steeplechase of them all in Australia, the Grand National. Peter Donegan will talk to the trainer John Craddock, who's had a history of some very talented horse flesh, including a Grand National Hurdle winner and Canno winner, but today, no doubt, his biggest thrill, Pete, with Trainery.
Well, we're about to find out, Dan. John Craddock is down here with us, and I suppose your heart must have been in your mouth a couple of times during that race with so many of them toppling over, John.
Yes, they were going right, left and centre, and down the far side there, I thought there was only 4 or 5 left, but there was a couple of stragglers behind that. But, he got a good run, and I don't know what's made the difference. He's just fired up. I've had 2 goes at it the last 2 years, and he hasn't been able to get the distance, but probably a fairly weak field, I would think.
Just coming to the second last there, were you confident you'd beat Andella before he fell?
Oh, I don't know. He was the horse that I'd picked out before the race. He looked tremendous and a very good run last week. We were behind him last week, but he did get tired from that point on last week, and we just thought that we may have been able to pick him up from there home.
You've had some good success in jumping races before, but would this be your biggest win, do you think?
Oh, no doubt about it.
Well, I think I'll let you go and enjoy the moment. I know you want to lead him in. Okay. John, well done.
I want to go and see Dad.
John Craddock, the trainer of Trainerie, the Grand National Steeplechase winner, returning to scale now after a great performance over 5,000 metres and 28 fences, Dan.
Certainly was, Peter. It was an amazing race. There were a couple of horses that made mistakes, but that's what jumping's all about. You've got to get over all of them, and that's what Trainerie did today. They're one of the toughest breed of horses, and his performance today has been almighty to win the 1990 Grand National Steeplechase. We'll take a break from Flemington and come back with a presentation for the National.
Grand Rob. Here's the last. It could be the decider. 3 in line. Young Command in the centre, landed inches ahead of Chocolate Royal, and down the outside is Samoy. 200 to go in a ding-dong struggle. Young Command, Samoy on the outside, and Chocolate Royal won't give in. Samoy on the outside, going the better now. It's grabbed the lead, Samoy. Young Command is fighting back. Samoy on the outside, though, is holding Young Command. He's about a neck clear, and then Chocolate Royal, and Samoy wins the Grand National by a length. Second, Young Command. Third was Chocolate Royal, a length away.
And welcome back to Flemington, where correct weight has been notified for the place getters in the dominant Grand National Steeplechase. The numbers were 4, 1 and 5, and the official dividends, the winner Trainerie, $7.80 and $2.10. Bar the Shouting second, $1.65. Commission Rent third, $1.10. The Quinella on 1 and 4, $34.05. The Trifecta on 4, 1 and 5, $322.70. The winning margin was 12 lengths, 10 lengths between second and third, and the time 5:56.5. Numbers 4, 1 and 5 after the running of the Grand National Steeplechase. Stay with us here on 10 Sports Action, of course. Coming up, we have the running of the Winter Championship final. We'll have a live telecast of that race, and very soon the presentation to the connections of Trainerie, the winner of the second of the big jump stubble here at Flemington over the winter, the dominant Grand National Steeplechase. Now, the openers for that race, Mr. Classic is on $2.75 and $1.55. Black Blaze $2.95 and $1.35. Grey Man $3.75 and $1. Above Deck $6.15 and $2.35. Bronze Knight $5.60 and $1.65, all in the betting. Nouvelle $11 and $3.70. Cameronic $14 and $3.95. Light Show number 8 $5.60 and $1.75. Malted Grain $7.05 and $2.40. Then we go over the page to Lapushka's Boy $8.15 and $2.60. Fleet Yacht $18 and $4.90. Rachmona $6.45 and $1.55. Deep Darkness $24 and $5.80. Carawan $33 and $8.35. Lord Manitou $6.75 and $1.65. Trista Plain, one of the outsiders, $40 and $11 for the place. So there you have the opening tote call for race number 5, the final of the Winter Championship. And now it's time for the presentation.
Draws towards the last. He's 2 lengths in front. Runs it down, but he's got a 2 lengths advantage over Tengahari. Region battling back in third place with 150 left to go in the National. It's Go Gong by 2 lengths. Tengahari, Region on the outside, starting to thunder home, but it's Go Gong. Hillis has a peep over the shoulder. He's 3 in front. Region and Tengahari are trying hard. Region finishing well. Go Gong in front. Region on the outside, charging up, but the post is going to be too close. A thrilling Grand National to Go Gong. Won by a length the Region. 2 lengths.
Welcome back to Flemington. We've just witnessed a sensational Grand National Steeplechase, and we'll check the results on that marvellous affair. Trainerie $7.80 and $2.10. Bar the Shouting $1.65. Commission Red paid $1.10. Quinella $34.05, and the Trifecta was $322.70. As we have a look at the update for race number 5, which is the final of the Winter Championship, which will be up shortly. One of the major events on the winter calendar, with Mr. Classic at $2.75, one of the favourites, if not the favourite. Black Blaze $3.10, Grey Man $3.70, Above Deck at $6.10. Bronze Knight $5.90, Nouvelle better than 20 to 1 on the tote. Cameronic $14, Light Show $5.45, Malted Grain $6.55. Over the page, Lapushka's Boy $7.95, Fleet Yacht better than 35 to 1, Rachmona $6.35, Deep Darkness $46 to 1, Carawan about 60 to 1. Lord Manitou, $7. Good tip on track for it. And Trista Plain right down the bottom at $37.35. A Victorian TAB, Mr. Neil Walker. Neil, welcome again to Flemington. And it's been a big day for the TAB today.
Yes, Dan, it has certainly been a big day. We've introduced two very important new betting innovations relating to the declaration of substitutes and also the horses' names on tickets.
Now, the horses' names on tickets came into effect today, which is a big plus, but the substitutes will be around perhaps next Saturday?
Yes, the substitute change will occur next Saturday, and from next Saturday, the substitute will be declared as the horse in the win pool favourite 15 minutes before the start of the race, as compared with the current 40 minutes before the start of the race. The reason for that, of course, is that punters these days tend to delay their betting to get the maximum amount of information, and therefore declaring the substitute 15 minutes before the race will ensure that we get a better reflection of the favourite at that time.
TAB are also extending their coverage, I believe, on the running doubles.
Yes, again, as of next week, we will extend running doubles to New South Wales provincials and all Adelaide races. So that again is a very important extension of our betting services.
I think the crowd are getting a big thrill at the moment, Neil, as the parade of hounds go down the straight. Quite a spectacular sight. The hounds of the Melbourne Hunt Club are illustrating the historical and continuing connection between fox hunting and steeplechasing in Victoria this afternoon, and obviously very popular with the crowd, and no doubt very popular with a lot of the betting public was the introduction today, or the opening, of the newest TAB outlet.
Yes, Dan, we opened this morning actually our new TAB outlet at Glen Waverley. It features floor space that is 3 times the size of our normal agency, which enables the punters to relax in comfort, watch the 14 odds displays that are spread throughout the facility and the televised large screen, as well as for the first time introducing toilet facilities available for the customers as well. So that's a very important development from our point of view and is part of our major modernisation program that has us upgrading agencies throughout our network.
And Neil, just finally, the turnover for the year has been astronomical yet again.
Yes, Dan, we come up towards the end of our financial year, which is the horse year, of course, with the end of the year being the 31st of July. We passed last year's turnover in June, and we do anticipate being somewhere near $1.9 billion in turnover again this year, which would also be a record.
Neil, thanks a lot, and let's hope it continues, and let's see if we can get a couple of winners between us. And Peter Donner going to have a look across to my right, and he's got a very, very special guest, Lucky Pete.
Yes, I think I've done the better of the deal, with all due respect to you, Neil. I've got Miss Melbourne Cup with me and Simone Locke. And Simone, well, it's been a pretty hectic time for you over the last 8 months or so.
Yes, it sure has. Mainly during the Cup week, that was the main sort of time where I was busy presenting trophies and meeting people and whatever. And I've been to a few race meetings throughout the year, and it's been wonderful.
Well, it's obviously an ongoing involvement because you're involved in the presentation there after the Grand National Steeplechase.
Yes, that's right. And I'll be crowning the new Miss Melbourne Cup on the Derby Ball just before the Melbourne Cup at the end of this year, in November.
Have you enjoyed it?
Yes, I have. It's been wonderful. I've met a lot of people, and it's helped me with
Then a long gap in the field to Mr. Hickey and Achara's lad. Here's the last. Diwali now coming down to it in the Grand National. Jumps fence 28, and he's about 20 lengths in front. Headford Town in second place, but there's Headford Town over the last, but it's all Diwali. Can't find the others. Daylight second, and Diwali's going to coast in. Diwali's 15 to 20 lengths in front, given a brilliant display. And Diwali comes down now to win very, very easily. A brilliant win in the Grand National. Diwali scores by 25 lengths.
You get a run for your money when they jump from the starter's gate. You get a run for your money when they thunder down the straight. The odds are so much better. Try your luck and see. You get a run for your money on the TAB.
Get a run for your money this winter with new Footybet Pick 6 at your TAB.
You get a